phenomenal matchup here as St. Benedict's goes for its 28th title in a row, 27 straight Prep A crowns. Here's Pennington with an early chance and an early goal! And again they have a corner. Anson's delivery is short and it's gonna find the corner! Oh man! Gray Bees have not been able to get in any sort of rhythm. Though as I say that, here's a great opportunity and it's a goal! Trying to spring Diop, he's got a head of speed. Diop scores! It's desperation time if you're St. Benedict's Prep. The whistle blows, and the Pennington Red Raiders have knocked off the St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees and are Prep A champions. The first team to call themselves Prep A champions, not named St. Benedict's in the last 27 seasons.
Well, first and foremost, the boys that wear the uniform are really what makes the program special. Their commitment to the work that we put in each preseason, their ability to buy into the rituals and traditions, as they're called here, allows us to not only continue to hold the program in the same regard year after year, but also chase similar success year after year. That it is so difficult to win 3 in a row is simply because of the turnover from year to year. Typically when you have a good run, a national championship team, 2 national championship teams, there's a nucleus that success is built around. So when you are talking about a 3rd year in a row, a lot of times that nucleus breaks up by that time, and you're looking to start over again.
And that's what we're striving for. As a coach, that's my goals. As a player, I couldn't do it. I do believe this program will get it done one day.
Last year presented a number of different challenges that started with the amount of guys that we graduated the year before. Losing 18 guys in one class presents some difficulties in keeping the tradition going from one year to the next.
So the whole team was new, and it was a lot of incoming transfers and international players that weren't used to the culture and the environment and everything. So the whole program and the way that St. Benedict's plays soccer was different to pretty much every single player on the team.
Think of myself a bunch of times. Like when we were in the game, I would think about how my performance was, the goals I scored, instead of thinking how the team actually did. And that hurt us badly too, because there was a bunch of people who did that.
Last year, I could kind of sense that everything started to go a little bit downhill. After we lost to Berkshire 2-1, that was pretty early in the season. But they were regarded as one of the top prep programs in the country. I believe at the time they were the #1 ranked prep program. But after that, we stayed positive, and we tried our hardest. We bounced back with a 3-0 win at Blair, and following that, we played Pennington and we drew 1-1. And I believe at that point, that was where everything started to take a turn for the worst. People's heads started to drop when people realized that the national championship started to get further and further away from our reach.
Obviously, whatever we did last year wasn't enough. Even though the big part of it was our lack of experience, but physically, we weren't there. So during the off season, we spent a lot of hours in the box, practicing with the Cedar Star Academy.
We needed to reconfigure the roster. We needed to separate ourselves from the guys that weren't buying in, and making sure that we're replacing those players with guys who were accepting the responsibility of being a Benedict's player.
What I feel that we did from the worst season of Benedict's to going being the first team in New Jersey to winning Dallas Cup was the players that we took out of the locker room. So the weeds, the rotten, let's say, the rotten cheese.
After the lose, I think we practice more harder. Because we lose, 27 years, and we had to think like we had to keep going, play hard every practice. So I think the difference was that for this we went to Dallas Cup just thinking in won the Dallas Cup, we're gonna win.
I think the major difference between this year's team and last year's team is the togetherness. Last year's team was very divided, both on the field and in the locker room, whereas this year's team seems to enjoy one another's company. They have the ability to motivate one another, hold each other accountable, and when you get young men looking after each other like that, big things are possible.
We've definitely gelled together. We've just been around each other very often in the locker room. Everybody's friends, everybody talks to each other, everybody just has a lot of chemistry. And also everyone just ready to get to work.
In the practice we work together, we friends now. We're not like last year.
This year, we're actually a team. We can actually call ourselves a family. The way we talk to each other, the way we communicate, the way we hang out during practice, after practice, in the locker room, during school. Now, since I'm a leader, I try focusing on my team. I put my team first. If I'm on the bench, if I don't play, as long as my team wins, that's all I care about.
My expectations for this season is an undefeated season.
A national championship, an undefeated, perfect season.
An undefeated season and a top national ranking.
We want to live it as a national champ and having a perfect record.
Nothing short of a perfect 20-0 season and winning a national championship.
Winning the national championship.
Everything we play, we're gonna win. Like 2-0, no, 3-0, 4-0.
And I believe with the group of guys that we have now, it's doable.
We're a 10-time national championship team. This year is the year that we'll get the 11.